Hey there, everyone. Alison Beckford here, and we have a about 58 days before we are dealing with an election. I wanted to make a comment. Hopefully, I can make it within the next 2 minutes or less. This 2024 presidential race is shaping up to be one for the history books, and I want to break it down for you in a way that even our sixth graders who may be listening to this can actually understand. So grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into this political roller coaster. First things first. As a part of Allison Knows, we think about everything, we think about a lot of things, and we talk about a lot of things. And let's talk about what makes this election so special. You see, every 4 years we have a presidential election, but some more important than others. The 2024 election, yeah, that's kind of like the Super Bowl of elections. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Remember when your parents and your grandparents talked about big elections in the past? And we've had some nail biters. In 2000, we had Bush versus Gore. Now that showdown was so close that they had to count the votes in Florida over and over and over again. Then in 2008, we saw history made with the election of Barack Obama as the first black president. And now, of course, now who could forget 2016 when Donald Trump surprised everyone by beating Hillary Clinton. That was a treat. I'm still suffering the consequences of that one. Now, we're here at 2024. This is a whole new ball game, folks. We've got Vice President Kamala Harris stepping up to the plate for the Democrats and former President Donald Trump swinging for the fences for the Republicans. It's a rematch of sorts, but with a twist. Here's where things get really interesting. We're seeing some things that have never happened before in American history, right? Are you ready for this? Reports are showing Kamala Harris might get 40 million more votes than Donald Trump. Now, that's more than the entire state of California. Can you imagine that many people all choosing the same candidate? That's kind of mind blowing, isn't it? Yes. Well, okay. Now you might be wondering, Allison, where are all these extra votes coming from? Great question. Let's break it down. First, you have young voters. Remember, when you turned 18 and you couldn't wait to vote? Well, there are millions of young people who feel the same way. They're fired up and ready to vote their hearts, and they want their votes and their voices heard. Now, let's not forget first-time voters. These are the folks who have never voted before, but this election is so important that they're heading to the polls for the first time. And of course, let's not forget my least favorite group, people who usually skip elections. There are some adults who always vote, but this time there are some adults who always don't vote. So now they're saying, apparently, count me in. So let's count them in. Then you have new citizens, immigrants that have gone through the process to become naturalized citizens. And every year, people become American citizens, and many of them are excited to vote for their first U.S. election. And of course, they're the ones that change their minds. These are voters who vote differently in past elections, who have decided to actually support Vice President Harris in this time. Now, let's talk about why this election is so crucial. Imagine you're playing a video game, right? And you're about to make a big decision that will change the entire story. That's kind of what this election is like for our country. The person we choose as president will make big decisions about things that affect all of us. How we take care of our planet and fight climate change, how we decide whether a woman has the right to make a decision on her body, the way we handle health care and make sure everyone can see a doctor when they're sick, how we make sure everyone has a fair chance to succeed in school and work, the rules we have for keeping our country safe and getting along with other countries. These are big, important issues that will shape what kind of country we live in years to come. And that's why so many people are now saying, I need to vote this time, it really matters. Well, here's the thing. Even with all the extra voters, we can't just sit back and assume everything will work out. No, my young friends, that's not how democracy works. For this election to really make a difference, we need everyone who cares about our country and our country's future to get involved. Here's what needs to happen. Get informed. Learn about the candidates and what they stand for. Ask your parents, teachers, and trusted adults. Let them help you understand the issues. And if they don't understand the issues themselves, then you both and you all need to actually do your research. Then spread the word. Even if you're too young to vote, you still can talk to adults in your life and tell them how important this election is to you. Maybe you can even help them find their polling places. But I'm an advocate and I'm a believer in the mail-in ballot, so mail in your ballots too. Volunteer. Many campaigns need help with things like making phone calls and putting up signs. It's a great way to get involved with our democracy, even if you're not old enough to vote yet. Encourage others to vote. Remind the adults you know that every vote counts. Maybe you can make cool posters or social posts that get people excited about voting. Stay positive. Elections can sometimes get a bit messy. Boy, can they get messy. With people arguing and saying not so nice things. But remember, we're all in the same team, Team America. It's okay to disagree, but it's important to be respectful with that disagreement. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Allison, I'm just a kid. What can I do? Let me tell you something important. You have more power than you realize. Let me tell you that your enthusiasm, your questions, your interest in our country's future can inspire adults around you. You can be the spark that gets your family talking about the elections at dinner, or the reason your neighbor decides to vote for the first time. As we get closer to Election Day, you'll probably hear a lot of grown-ups talking about polls, debates, and campaign strategies. It sounds complicated, but remember this. At its heart, an election is about the people, all coming together to decide what kind of future we want for our country. And that future, it belongs to you, the amazing young people who will inherit this nation. So, as we watch this historic election unfold with potentially millions more voters than ever before, remember that you're witnessing something truly special. Years from now, when you're old enough to vote, you'll be able to look back and say, I remember the election of 2024. That's when I first understood just how important it is to be a part of our democracy. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of democracy. Because, my young friends, the future of this country is bright and it's in your hands. This is Allison Beckford signing off and remembering and reminding you that no matter what happens, we're all in this together. So stay curious, stay engaged, and never stop believing in the power of your voice. The 2024 election may be the most consequential in our lifetime, but with your generation coming up, I have hope for an even brighter tomorrow. Keep shining, young citizens, and I'll see you next time. This is Allison from Allison Knows. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Bye.